Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. Today we are in Michaux State Forest, where there are a multitude of trails to explore. We're parked here and going to do a loop of the Appalachian Trail and the Hermitage Trail. You can see there's a trailhead with parking for about 5 vehicles, depending on how they're arranged. It is a beautiful mid-December day, an inch or two of snow on the ground, and I just love the green of the pines against the white of the snow and even gray of the rocks. What a glorious landscape. It'll be about a 4.5 mile hike, not too long at all. We'll be climbing a hill and hopefully we'll see some scenic views from what is called Chimney Rocks. There are many places called Chimney Rocks around the state, but this is Chimney Rocks in Michaux State Forest, and we are so glad that you can join us today. We've reached the trail split. The Appalachian Trail by convention blazed white turns right, and we'll take the right-hand path and return via the blue blazed Hermitage Trail along the beautiful tumbling run to complete our circuit. And all of the adventures we share with you at hemlockstateexplorer.com are places we have actually visited. Yes, I am actually physically here in real life at Michaux State Forest. You can hear my breathing and heart pumping as I hike uphill. There is no AI, and it sounds kind of sad to have to say that, but I've seen a number of other outdoor adventure sites where it's little more than AI. Worst offender is I was watching a places to travel during Christmas in Pennsylvania, and of course one of the top destinations is Bethlehem, and as the suspicious sounding voice was narrating, pictures appeared of an arid environment and palm trees. Clearly not Bethlehem in Pennsylvania. That's the other Bethlehem in the Middle East. Well, you won't find that at Hemlock State Explorer, because part of the joy is sharing these places with you and sharing our experience and knowledge. That's part of the reason why we started this. If you're curious about how to experience the joys of the outdoors but aren't quite sure where to begin, or if you're scouting for new places to go or adventures appropriate for the family, we are here to serve you in that. Our primary concern isn't for the most clicks and shares and subscriptions, although we appreciate that and that helps us out greatly, but we simply want to pass along what we've learned. And with that being said, let's head on up to Chimney Rocks. After a little less than 2 miles on the trail, we've reached the spur to Chimney Rocks, and we can see a huge pile right ahead through the woods. Let's get up there and see if there are any views of Gettysburg in the distance. Here's a path. It looks like others have been here recently. We'll need to be especially careful of the snow, but we are growing with anticipation of those that jumble of rocks. Presumably that's where the trail leads. One of the reasons we wanted to get out today in particular, other than we have the opportunity to, is that according to the weather forecast, we're going to experience about a over 20 degree change. It was 29 degrees when we started out. It's supposed to get above 50. Can already feel the snow becoming slushier and wetter. Oh, do you see those rocks? So that'll be fun to experience that change. Already we've shed a few layers. It's nowhere near 50 now, but it is discernibly warmer. I'll take a view to pan around. That's enticing. This trail is still clear. At least there are footprints in the snow. Left. Okay. Well, that's the best way to get up here. There are no markings on the rocks, well, at least that I can see. There may be markings covered by snow. think we'll put down the camera. Oh wait, okay, we have a good footing now. Was going to put down the camera so we can climb up here, but I think we're in good shape. The footprints lead this way, but I think where we really want to be is up there. We've made it to the huge rock jumble at the edge of the mountain, and this has exceeded expectations. Look at that balanced rock, and then there's another huge slab at an angle. That's fun in itself, but this view is spectacular. Some views in Michaux State Forest, or what are noted as views, are really nothing to write home about, but this one exceeds expectations. You see the Waynesboro Reservoir in the distance. We can't actually see the plain in which Gettysburg is located, the wide valley, on account of the ridge in front of us, but we're looking in the direction of Gettysburg beyond. And then you see the grays and the blues as we pan from north to east to south become yellows and pinks and oranges on just above the horizon. Glorious. Praise the Lord. Just below the snowy peak, there's a craggy cave in the cleft of the rocks. Let's see how far we can go with the ice and the snow. Oh wow, this is deeper than I expected. Being very careful. Just sliding through with the backpack. Okay. Ooh, there's like a shelter in here. Oh, this is fun. Excuse my slowness, I'm just trying to not die. Okay, well, it's not too terribly deep. Here's a skylight up above. We'll make our way down to the bottom through this path here, avoiding as much snow as we can, and then we'll meet up with you in just a moment. We are on the south side of the craggy rock outcropping. Whoops. For point of reference, there's the Waynesboro Reservoir through the trees below. Here's an entrance. There's another entrance into the cave up above. I think we'll fare better going this way. In the summertime, this would be no problem at all, except of course looking out for snakes. But the packed wet snow on the rocks is quite slippery, making it slow going. Thankful that these rocks here are dry. Have to knock the snow off our boots. Excuse me if the camera does weird things. Again, trying to not die. Hey, we made it. We're at the entrance of the cave. There was another trail of footprints which led down here, but we didn't go that way on account of the snow. It's quite slippery, as I mentioned. There's the hole we crawled through. Wow. Very nice. There's a big jumble of rocks up ahead. This is actually not the cave we saw from up above, because I remember there was that large skylight. But in any case, this is a very cool find. Look at the rocks, how they overhang the cave. Fun. Okay, well, let's go see if we can find the other cave, if we can make it there in a safe manner. All right, right next door and a little up in elevation, just a few feet, we've encountered the first cave that we found when we were coming down from the top of Chimney Rock. We were standing on that precipice, that outcropping just above. So being very careful of the snow and getting jabbed by briars, we'll make our way into this cave. What a fun area. Put this on the to-do list to come back in the nice weather. Okay, yes. And actually, we're not even at that first cave. The first cave is all the way up there. Here is yet another cave farther below. Looks like this is as far as it goes, though. Okay, we figured it out. The first cave is below that overhang. The second cave, we just came out of that slot right here. But on our way to try to find the first cave, we have found yet another cave. What a treasure this place has turned out to be. And it's less than a 2-mile hike from the trailhead. This is so cool. We're just sliding over the leaf debris. Well, there are worse places to stay the night. All right, we definitely need to come back here during the nice weather. All right, we carefully made our way along a snowy rock ledge and cut through some briars to make it to the first cave. It took a little bit of doing to get here. Again, in the nice weather, it wouldn't be difficult at all. It's just difficult on account of the slippery snow. But I guess in the nice weather, you're dealing with snakes. I don't know, which would you rather deal with, snow and ice or snakes? Leave it in the comments below. All things considered, I would probably rather deal with snakes than ice. Here you see up above this rock overhang. Get our footing and pan around to the entrance of the cave. Very cool. Okay, so let's go retrieve our backpack that we took off to climb through all of this. We've descended from Chimney Rocks on the Hermitage Trail following Tumbling Run. At this section, there are large boulders, a cliff of boulders along the trail. On the descent, there's a generous use of switchbacks, which made the going easy, and it was beautiful scenery coming down the mountain. We're descending on the ridge opposite where we went up on the Appalachian Trail. What I want to draw your attention to is if we're quiet. You hear that? Actually, let's get close to this this hole around the roots of a tree. Yes, do you hear that? There is a stream running underneath these rocks, and you can hear it in certain spots when you're quiet. Oh yes, here we hear it again. Let's go up further. It's a fascinating oddity. You can see Tumbling Run through the brush to our right, but there's definitely a flow right underneath our feet. Oh, here's a good spot. Is there a crevice here? Okay, yeah, you can hear it really well in this crevice. So the trail up was invigorating. Chimney Rocks was such a beautiful view, and had the fun caves to explore, and the oddity of being able to hear the stream flowing underground is a bonus that makes this trail loop so nice. We've reached the junction of the Appalachian and Hermitage Trails, and it's just a short walk on the Appalachian Trail back to the trailhead. Be sure to check out HemlockStateExplorer.com for the full adventure, including GPS coordinates of Chimney Rock, the caves, and everything else you need to know before you go. And there you can also find all of our other adventures. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure.